Well, sir, I just don't understand. You can't have it both ways, but let's move on because
No, he can. He's a journalist.
No, he can't, because either Musk is the source and he can't talk about it, or Musk is not the source. And if Musk is not the source, then he can discuss
No one
his
has yielded. The gentlelady's out of order. You don't get to speak
she's out of
every
order
time.
because
not
he's
recognized. The
interrupted.
gentlelady's not
Mr. Chairman,
recognized.
You're not recognized,
reclaim my
Mike.
time.
He has not said
Chairman,
that.
Legitimate response.
What's up, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. This is Legitimate Response, a channel focused on politics, politicians, the stuff they do, the stuff they say, the crap they get into, the crap they get out of, and all hell breaking loose in the House of Representatives. Now, what we got coming up today is they're having a hearing on the Twitter files. The Democrats are very, very mad at Matt Taibbi, the guy that broke the Twitter files story that came out on Twitter after Elon Musk bought Twitter for $45 billion. It seems like he only bought it to do this. And it's great. And the Democrats are obviously mad because it shows that the FBI, the Department of Justice, were actually silencing conservatives on Twitter. And there's proof of this. And they are pissed off about it. So they are trying to do everything they can to discredit the Twitter files. And unfortunately, or should I say, fortunately, there's nothing to discredit. And they're just grasping at nothing at all. And it's great. And they start bickering back and forth over little stuff. It's just wonderful. Let's roll this clip and see what we got.
Mr. Taibbi, I want to follow up a little bit on the ranking member's questions. When was the first time that Mr. Musk approached you about writing the Twitter files?
Again, Congresswoman, that would...
I just need a date, sir.
But I can't give it to you, unfortunately, because this is a question of sourcing, and I don't give up. I'm a journalist. I don't reveal my sources.
It's a question of chronology.
No, that's a question of sourcing.
Because you earlier said that someone had sent you through the internet some message about whether or not you would be interested in some information.
Yes, and I refer to that person as a source.
So you're not going to tell us when Musk first approached you?
Again, Congresswoman, you're asking me to you're asking a journalist to reveal a source.
So then you consider Mr. Musk to be the direct source of all of this?
No, now you're trying to get me to say that he is the source. I just can't answer your question.
Well, it either is or he isn't. If you're telling me you can't answer because it's your source, well, then the only logical conclusion is that he is, in fact, your source.
Well, you're free to conclude that.
Now, right quick before the drama starts, in case you didn't know, there's a law against the government forcing somebody to give up who their source was to cover a story. It's whistleblower laws. It's been in place for a while. They cannot do that, and chaos ensues.
Well, sir, I just don't understand. You can't have it both ways, but let's move on because
No, he can. He's a journalist.
No, he can't, because either Musk is the source and he can't talk about it, or Musk is not the source. And if Musk is not the source, then he can discuss
No one
his
has yielded. The gentlelady's out of order. You don't get
and
to
she's
speak
out of
every
order
time.
because
not
he's
recognized. The
interrupted.
gentlelady's not
Mr. Chairman,
recognized.
You're not recognized, Mike.
He has not said that.
I don't.
What he has said is he's not going to
Chairman,
reveal his source, and the
I
fact
did
that
not yield
Democrats
my
are
time
pressuring
to
him
the
to do
chairman
so
or
is
the
such a
regulator.
Not.
violation
We're
of
asking
First
him about his
Amendment.
conversations with
The
Musk.
gentlelady has not yielded you time. You don't
I
get
have
to
not
just talk
yielded
over
time
her.
to anybody. I want to reclaim my time, and I would ask the chairman to give me back some of the time because of the interruption. Mr. Chairman, I am asking you if you will give me the seconds that I lost.
We will give you that 10 seconds.
Thank you.
Like I said, pissed off.
Now, let's talk about another item that when you responded to the ranking member. You said that you had free license to look at everything, but yet you yourself posted on your I guess it's kind of like a web page. I don't quite understand what Substack is, but that what I can say is that in exchange for the opportunity to cover a unique and explosive story, I had to agree to certain conditions. What were those conditions? She asked you that question, and you said you had none. but you yourself posted that you had conditions.
No, the conditions, as I've explained multiple times.
No, sir, you've not explained. You told her in response to her question that you had no conditions. In fact, you kind of used the word license, that you were free to look at all of them, all 100,000 emails.
The question was posed, was I free to write about?
Sir, did you have any conditions?
The condition was that we published
Sir,
on
did you
Twitter.
have any conditions, yes or no? A simple question.
Yes.
All right, could you tell us what conditions those were?
Conditions were an attribution, sources at Twitter, and that we break any news on Twitter.
But you didn't break it on Twitter. Did you send the file that you released today to Twitter first?
The Twitter
That was
files
one of the
thread?
conditions, yes or no, sir?
The Twitter files thread actually did come up first.
But sir, you said earlier that you had to attribute all the sources to Twitter first. What you released today, did you send that to Twitter first?
No. I posted it on Twitter.
First, sir. Or did you give it to the ranking member, to the chairman of the committee or the staff of the committee first?
Well, that's not breaking the story. That's giving. Yes, I did give.
So you gave all the information that you did not give to the Democrats. You gave it to the Republicans first. Then you put it on Twitter?
Actually, no. The chronology is a little bit confused.
Well, then
It's more or
tell
less
us
the
what the
same time.
chronology was.
I believe the thread came out first
Where?
on Twitter.
On Twitter. So then you afterwards gave it to the Republicans and not the Democrats?
Yes, because I'm submitting it for the record as my statement.
Did you give it to them in advance?
I gave it to them today.
You gave it to them today, but you still have not given anything to the Democrats. Well,
And that's what I meant by grasping at nothing. She's sitting there complaining, talking about, well, you didn't give it to the Democrats. It was public knowledge at that point. It had been on Twitter for a while before. So anybody, Democrat, Republican, Independent, no affiliation, Joe Blow, could have went and looked all that stuff up and found everything. So she's trying to make him look bad, like he was playing sides, and it's not working. Because obviously it came out on Twitter first, like he said. Then after that, he gives a copy of it to the Republicans to enter into the record that day before their testimony, months after this stuff came out. Because as you know, all this came out like a month and a half, 2 months ago. So she's grabbing at nothing, literally. And this is what the Democrats love to do. They like trying to twist stuff around. Of course, all politicians like doing that. Republicans do that stuff too, but you can really see it on display right here, and it's not looking good on their part. But that's my opinion. You might have a different opinion. That's how I'm looking at it, because it looks like they're trying so hard to make him look bad, and it's just not working. Sorry. Let's keep rolling.
I'll move on. And I wanted to ask Mr. Schellenberger the same question, sir. When did you first visit with or get contacted by Mr. Musk?
I'm not going to reveal my sources, but like I said, I was invited by Barry Weiss.
I'm not asking for sources, sir. I'm just asking for chronology. When did you first make contact with Mr. Musk?
I don't know the exact date.
Was it?
It was
2020?
December. It was December.
December of, well, there's a lot of Decembers in history.
December of
sir.
last year.
Which December?
December of last year, ma'am.
Last year, the 22?
Yes.
All right. Now, in your discussion, in your answer, you also said that you were invited by a friend, Barry Weiss.
My friend Barry Weiss.
So this friend works for Twitter, or what is her?
She's a journalist.
Sir, I didn't ask you a question. I'm now asking Mr. Schellenberger a question. Please
Yes,
do
ma'am.
not
Barry Weiss is a
interrupt.
journalist.
I'm sorry, sir.
She's a journalist.
She's a journalist. So you work in concert with her?
Yeah.
Do you know when she first was contacted by Mr. Musk?
I don't know.
You don't know. So you're in this as a threesome?
There was many more people involved than that.
There was many more people involved with that. Are you being paid to be here today, either through consulting fees,
No.
campaign contributions,
Absolutely
your next
not.
run?
Gentlelady's
Absolutely
time
You
is
have an interview
gentlelady's
scheduled after
time
this
is
hearing?
expired.
Absolutely not.
Gentlelady's time has
Thank you.
expired.
Thank you.
I don't know what to say other than I'll recognize the gentleman from North Dakota for 5 minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and I'll yield my 5 minutes.
Oh,
to you.
I appreciate the gentleman yielding. I do think it's worth pointing out that, I have co-sponsored, I think some of my colleagues have co-sponsored the SHIELD Act.
All right, so the rest of that's just kind of rambling on. The SHIELD Act was what I was talking about earlier. There's a law against the government forcing somebody to give up who their source was to cover a story. It's a whistleblower laws. It's been in place for a while. They cannot do that. Yeah. It's just crazy. Were you paid to be here? Oh my God, come on, lady. Really? You have nothing. There's nothing you can do or say to make yourself look better. The Democrats, the FBI, there was a couple of Republicans that did it too. So everybody is involved. But to be honest, it was only 2 or 3, I believe, Republicans that actually called for censorship on people on Twitter. But there was like 20 different Democrats and several FBI agents that actually told these people, hey, you need to ban these accounts, pull these tweets down, do all this and that. But I covered all this in my Twitter Files videos. If you go look in my library, scroll down, you'll see them. It's all there, every single bit of it. You can go look at it, watch it. It's amazing. Check it out. And that's all I got for this one, y'all. Thanks for watching. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Turn on your notifications so every time I pop out a video, it'll pop into your feed and you can see it. Hit the like button if you like seeing these Democrats destroying themselves right there on display for everybody to see. And be positive. Peace.